So, hello, 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 hello. Let me double check some stuff here. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me fix this because I'm not plugged into the right thing. Okay, good. Cool. Well, I look a mess, and this is very messy, and we are a full almost 10 minutes late here, but we made the mistake of watching the new season or starting the new season of Outlander. Um, so silly me for doing that. And then we got wrapped up into it. And then I realized what time it was, and I didn't want to have to reschedule the entire thing. So, hi. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful gifts, your own intuition. Because, yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. As you can see here, I am in our living room because I just didn't have time to move into the bedroom where I have all of my recording stuff. And honestly, nothing is cleared off, nothing is ready for the episode. So I just decided I would do it in here. And I'm realizing that I didn't create any of the new like little intro videos. So I'll just use my regular evergreen live stream happening, every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on different subjects, etc. But tonight we are doing another deck revisitation from my tarot deck collection in honor of our move, which we're locked in, we're going to be moving, and we have to start packing things up. And so that has caused me to revisit my deck collection, of which I have many, and I haven't even started counting how many decks I have. I'm kind of afraid to know exactly how many decks I have. Oh my goodness, my hair is a mess, and this headband is not helping. It's not cute. So let me just take it out. Anyway, let's just do the intro, shall we? Let me pull that up. Yep. So tonight we're revisiting another tarot deck from my collection, the Enchanted Love Tarot by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. So let's go to the intro, and I will be back in, I don't know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's actually really interesting that like we literally have probably less than 5 minutes to go in this episode of season 7, episode 1 of Outlander. And like the crisis point has already happened. So like, and I've read all of the books that are currently out there. I've read Go Tell the Bees That I'm Gone. I've like that's the newest book. So like I know roughly what's going to happen, but my husband does not. And so I think he might be contemplating murdering me right now because we left it at a point where it's just like I really want to finish this. So I think I'm gonna go into the other room, let him finish the episode so he has some sense of closure, and I'll come back to it when I'm done with this episode of the live stream. So, did you hear that?
Got 5 minutes left.
I know he's not usually a fan of coming on camera. I'm not going to put him on camera right now, but he literally just sat down on the couch next to me, and I was just like, "Did you hear what I just said?" And I was just like, "Are you okay with that? Do you want to do that?" And he's just like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah."
There's 5 minutes left.
There's like less than 5 minutes left, and I feel really, really horribly for him. So let me go in the other room. Let him watch it, because like I roughly know what's happening, even though there is sometimes a division between like what's happening in the books versus what's happening in the TV series. And I can get into that another time. But like, yeah, there was like vigorous head like nodding his head, like yes, absolutely, go do that. And Katie is just doing the laughing emojis right now. By the way, I do see your comments. Hello to Katie. Hello to Lynn. Welcome back, Lynn, for the craziness. And I do see the laughing emojis. So you may see him behind me as I'm moving into the other room. Um, and I have the Enchanted Love Tarot, which is our featured deck today. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to do a little bit of a crab walk so I don't get him on camera. I care. Enjoy. I'm trying not to drop everything. That's probably like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. He was just like, yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm not even going to be at my desk. I'm going to turn it slightly, and I'm going to have this on my lap, and we'll see how we go. Oh my goodness. I mean, I would love to be able to clean off my desk as I'm doing this, but I have a feeling no one has the patience for that, considering I was already 10 minutes late. So let me settle down in here. All right. Okay, the episode has officially begun. I'm just going to balance this on my knees. So, as usual, and I'm going to actually sitting next to the window, the open window right now, which is fantastic. We had a little bit of a rainstorm here earlier, and it just smells divine. It smells so nice, like wet pavement. it like, and I'm not even being facetious when I say that. Like, that is one of my favorite smells in the universe, is like wet sidewalk after a rainstorm. It's lovely. Okay, so we might have a little bit of wiggles here. We might have a little bit of shakiness. It's not going to be the prettiest of episodes, but you're still going to get what you need from this episode. So once again, we do this live stream every week, every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most weeks. Last week we could not do the episode. I did post a picture of us down at South Street Seaport, enjoying ourselves. We walked quite a bit that day. Because we were meeting our new landlord and making sure everything was copacetic for our move, which it is. So not next week, but maybe the week after, you'll be seeing my new place. You'll be in my new recording studio, and I might set a little one up. So and by the way, if you're getting messages in the chat from somebody else other than me, um saying grand rising or trying to solicit for a reading, that is not me. And please go ahead and block and ban those people. I don't know if Sophia is here watching this episode, but traditionally she will play moderator hat. But if she's not here, that's totally fine. Just please ignore those messages that are coming up, because those are not from me. And if you are one of those people that are doing that, like, go find somebody else. Go find somewhere else to solicit. Not here. Thank you. All right. And let's see what else. So yeah, last week we took a week off from the live stream because we had things that we needed to do, but we're back this week. And this week we are talking a little bit about the Enchanted Love Tarot by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. The Lover's Guide to Dating, Mating, and Relating. It's in this gorgeous box here. What's the publisher? The publisher is Red Feather. So here's the box right here. Comes with a guidebook. And it's been a while since I've looked at this deck. So I figured let's take a look at it together, kind of do a little bit quasi unboxing, but it's not really an unboxing because I've used it before, but it's more of a revisitation, much in the style that we did for the Steampunk Tarot, not last week, but 2 weeks ago. So if you're interested in that, wondering like, oh, she did a revisitation of the Steampunk Tarot. I wasn't aware of that. Like, where can I find that? You can find that on the Tube of You, or you can find that on the Book of Face right here. Okay, so we have a couple of main focuses during an episode. So I'm going to lay down the general structure of the weekly live stream episodes. But basically, we start with the astrology from Teresa Reed's at Wonderful Astrobiz Digest for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We also talk a little bit about the transits, the big transits that are going on. Then the middle of the episode is like the topic of tonight's episode. As I said before, it's revisiting the Enchanted Love Tarot. Mid-episode, we have the mid-episode reading in which I do a 3-card reading for someone. You don't automatically, you can enter to win it, but you don't automatically win it. So it's one lucky person will win it each week. And if you don't win it this week, I invite you to come back next week and try again. And then we continue on with the topic, and then we end the episode with the weekend forecast, which is either a tarot card or an oracle card to guide you into the weekend, prepared, not scared. So if that sounds great to everybody, go ahead and give me a hell yeah in the comments and let me know. And then also, I do see some people asking, I'd appreciate a reading if you're drawn. That's the reason why I just explained the structure of the weekly episodes. So please stay tuned. If you want a reading, stay tuned for the mid-episode reading. And I'm going to put that in the crawler there just to remind people about the mid-episode reading. So that's the reason why I started doing the mid-episode reading, to kind of like curtail the like, please pull a card for me, please do a reading for me, blah, 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 blah. It's just like you can participate in the contest that happens in the mid-episode reading and then get a 3-card reading that way, free 3-card reading that way. Or if you would like a reading with me, you can book one at tarotbyhilary.com, because this is my business. So please understand, I am not a bitch unless you press me to be a bitch. All right. So Lynn is saying yes in the chats. Them's the rules, kids. So let us start with the astro-weather from Teresa Reed from her wonderful AstroBiz Digest. I love the AstroBiz Digest. I'm going to go ahead and display it right here. It is $99 for a year's subscription. And the link to be able to purchase that is now popping into the chat. So you can go ahead and purchase one for yourself if you're liking what you're hearing from the brief snippet that I provide in each episode of this live stream. And I am deeply uncomfortable sitting like this. So I'm probably gonna have to move the computer and everything and, move over to my desk area, because otherwise this is gonna be very, very uncomfortable. So let's see if I can do the AstroBiz Digest from here, and then I'll move some stuff over to be able to sit properly. Slouching is not for me. All right. So let's get started with some of the bigger transits that are going on. And let's see, how can I display this? Can put this. I would rather not be in the corner. Half screen. Let's just leave it as is. There we go. Half screen. Good. Okay. So let's look at the transits, the main transits that are going on this week. So, two big happenings in the cosmos this week. First up, Saturn begins its annual retrograde dance on the 17th. During this months long transit, you can reflect on how business boundaries are holding up. Are they firm? Or are you saying yes to crap you don't love? How are your clients honoring or breaking your rules? Even if you're not down with current affairs, you can make changes. So deep dive and course correct as you will. Saturn stations direct on November 4th. So this is a pretty long transit. Saturn being retrograde. Um, Again, that's the reason why Teresa said this is a months long transit. So you can take your time until November 4th to really examine all of those things, including business boundaries, because Saturn rules those kind of things. So when Saturn goes retrograde, you can really examine those things that Saturn rules. Much in the same way that you would do that for, like, during a Mercury retrograde. Like Mercury retrograde is a really good time to examine, like, how are you communicating? Are you communicating clearly? For travel, like making sure you're shoring up plans and making sure you're double and triple checking everything and making enough time for those travel plans. And then technology as well, like re-examining what your relationship to technology is as well. Like, I know that a lot of people that follow astrology end up doing like a social media sabbatical during Mercury retrograde. So that's another way of honoring the Mercury retrograde and its cycle, while also being prepared, not scared about it. So same thing can be done with any planet being retrograde. In this case, it's Saturn that we're talking about. Does that make sense to everybody? And again, if you are getting people contacting you saying grand risings, blah, 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 message me for a reading, please go ahead and ignore them, block them, etc. And just know that I would never do that to another live streamer. So it's really shitty. That's really shitty of people to be doing it. So knock it off. Okay. All right. Also, so other than Saturn being retrograde until November 4th, we also have the new moon in Gemini arriving with the side of wit on the 18th. So this is your day to begin new writing projects, whether writing web copy, making music, or updating your blog or marketing materials. You can find the best words today. If you write for a living, it's also ideal to begin working on your latest and greatest. Also, pitching the media around this lunation is a genius move. Set intentions on writing, communication, tech, and education, and you can learn how to do that with Teresa's perpetual recommendation around new moon energy and new moon manifestation, New Moon Astrology by Jan Spiller. All right, everyone good with that and ready to go into Friday, the nitty gritty of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Give me a hell yeah in the chat. And I'm going to start to move things over. This is just going to be messy as hell. Actually, I'm just going to leave it like this. Why not? This is actually leaning and turned up, so it's probably not the most flattering of angles, but it's more comfortable for my back this way. And Katie is saying, yes, please. Okay. Let us go. All right. So today, Friday, June 16th, the Gemini moon keeps a writerly vibe floating throughout the day. Empty the inbox, create new marketing materials, pitch the media, and write as much as you feel. It's also dope for sending out a newsletter, especially when the moon is conjunct with Mercury at 3:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Avoid communicating anything around 11:20 a.m. when the moon squares Saturn. It's a bummer vibe, and you won't see many nibbles with marketing. A great time for gatherings opens up with the Moon-Venus sextile at 4:57 p.m. Host a party with your VIPs or a live stream for the general public. Whatever you do, make it fun. That will inspire more eyes to turn your way. This aspect is also hella good for flirting. If you feel like skipping work to get your Mac on, go for it. Today, Friday, June 16th, 2023, is a power day for Gemini and a weekday for Sagittarius. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Liz. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Liz, um, grand risings? Question mark. Exactly. Like grand rising my ass. Like, does anyone really talk that way? Really? Come on. It's just like don't do it, man. Don't do it. All right. Continuing on, Saturday. Saturday morning finds the moon in sextile with Chiron at 10:33 a.m., a lovely time for healing conversations. If a client needs TLC, this is your best spot for that. Motivational convos with your team would also be a great use of this aspect. Mercury sextile Venus at 11:29 a.m. adds more loving energy to communication. This would be an excellent opportunity to send a newsletter, speak on stage, or pitch to the media. Remember, it's active all weekend with plenty of time to wow the public. Saturn stations retrograde at 1:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, I've already spoken about the Saturn retrograde. That will be going on for months. I believe it goes direct November 4th. The new moon in Gemini is present at 12:37 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Once again, consult the information. We already did that to learn how to rock this vibe. La Luna settles into cozy Cancer at 6:58 a.m. Now it's time to focus on home and family. If you're returning to your crib after a business trip, the Moon Jupiter sextile at 8:45 p.m. promises a safe landing. This is followed by a trine between Moon and Saturn, ideal for getting unpacked and putting your household back in order. If you're not traveling, this evening is best for lovely discussions over dinner with your fam. Just tie everything up before 11:54 p.m. At that time, the sun squares Neptune, putting a deceptive cloud over the night. I would also advise staying away from booze once that aspect kicks in. It's too easy to overdo it. Hangovers on Monday? No, thank you. Saturday is a power day for Gemini and a weekday for Sagittarius, and Sunday is a power day for Cancer and a weekday for Capricorn. Woo! That's a lot of energy happening this weekend, folks. A lot of energy. That's the reason why I read the AstroBiz Digest at the start of every Friday night live stream so that we know what's going on astrologically. Really helps. I know. Oh, Liz, thank you. What's up? I hate that you're getting spammed when you're working. And usually Sophia is here to wear the administrator hat, but she might not be here tonight, so I'm not sure. Usually she will say like, "I'm on it," like very much the vibe of if people are familiar with the movie Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I'm right on top of that, Rose. Like that's the energy that I get when Sophia is wearing her moderator hat when the spammers are like out and about. But like, yeah, I really don't understand it. There's some times where it's completely quiet and lovely and wonderful, and then other times where it's just like back to back to back to back, and I don't get it. And there's no rhyme or reason to it either. So, all right. So at this time, I love to open up the floor for people if like Monday was like kind of weird or strange, or all right, let me put the noise canceling back on here. Okay, that's better. I can hear myself now. If like Monday was weird or strange, or Thursday was a little bit hinky and you kind of wanted to know the astrological reasons why, go ahead and write that into the chat. And while I'm waiting for that, if you guys have that feedback, I'm going to go ahead and move things off of my desk so I can actually use my desk tonight for this episode. And I'm going to try and bop things up like this so people don't see the chaos while I'm doing so. Okay. 2 birds, 1 stone, etc. I do have quite a bit of crap on my desk. This is the problem of piling crap on your desk with the hopes that you'll clean it off before you have to go and do something, and then not cleaning it off before you have to go and do something. just the reality of the situation and broadcasting. Lots of decks over here too. I'll show you which decks I'm moving off of the working space while I'm also waiting for your questions about astrology. So the deck that's in here in this Etsy bag is the Sorcery Underground fortune telling deck, which I was using the other day. I was also using the mediumship and casting charms from Andrew McGregor and Carrie Paris. And one in here, another Ipsy bag that I've repurposed into a tarot bag is, Steampunk Tarot that I revisited the other week. All right. Some altar cloths, some notebooks, and a partridge in a pear tree. All right. This is now clear. We can move it to its likely position. Yeah. I'm just going to keep this up high so you don't have to see some things you're not meant to see, like messes and such. All right. There we go. That'll work. And actually, let me see if I can plug in my other microphone so you guys can hear me better. Let's switch over to that microphone. All right, testing. Let's see if that works. You guys let me know if that's working. I'd appreciate it. And let's plug this in. Let's get some lights on here. I know this is such a glamorous thing to see, right? There we go. The volume is softer because I'm away from the microphone, Katie. Piles of books off of my chair, including my own book. Enchanted Love, which we're talking about tonight. And let's go ahead and put that there. Okay. All right. I think that's going to be better for my back in the long run. And this is a vibe that more of you are a little bit more used to. Ooh, don't like that. There we go. Lighting sources, fixing. Yes, exactly. Here I am. All right. Better? Better, worse, better, worse. Yes, it's a very... Katie is astute. Yes. A very live stream. And Fran says, there you are. Yes. Yes. So can you hear me? Because my microphone is right over here. So it should be softer, but it should be a little bit cleaner, I hope. So Katie says, I have taken delight in blocking those spammers whilst you are setting up. Bye-bye, spammers. Thank you so much, Katie. I really appreciate it. I don't know what it is about this particular live stream that attracts that kind of energy. Like, I'm definitely not trying to attract that kind of energy. Like, I'm not here for it. I also had some grand plans on putting makeup on for this particular live stream, and then I didn't. So we got caught up in watching the first episode of Outlander. So, oh, and also this is kind of an introduction to my new headphones that I ended up getting. Because I think I told you guys the ordeal of my other headphones crapping out, like the audio wouldn't come out of the left earbud. And I was very sad about it, and it was outside of the warranty. So I'm like, because it's just like, other than that, I would have gotten another pair of those, but also I was just like very fed up with it. And I'm just like, you know what? Let me try something else. You know, I'm also going to have to move the power cord in here, or, quicken my pace a little bit so that I don't need to put in the power cord. Anyway, but yeah, these are my new earbuds. If you can see them, they're pretty cute. They're from Samsung. They're the Galaxy Buds, Galaxy 2 Buds, something like that. I like them. They work pretty well. So, yes, Fran is correct. A new apartment and headphones. Yes, I got the headphones first, though. I think. Did I get the headphones first? I can't remember. Maybe? I can't remember if I got them first or we signed the lease first. Probably at the same time. You're right. At the same time. So, does anyone have any questions about the astrology for last week before we move into talking about the Enchanted Love Tarot, which has been sitting in my closet since like the 1 month that I used it? And this was actually sent, if I'm remembering correctly, this was sent by Amy and Monty for basically my review and like working with it. And so sometimes I won't write an actual review, but I'll work with it for a month and I'll put it up on social media. And I feel like that kind of stands as a review, like a month-long review, where it's just like I'm working with the deck every single day. I'm referencing the interpretation from the book, and then I'm also giving my own interpretation. I'm giving my feedback on packaging and cardstock and the imagery, etc. So it's just like it's almost like it's a month-long review. And I feel like these unboxings that I've been doing have been kind of a more recent development, uh, because people seemed to like them. And also, at the time that I started doing those unboxings, I had new decks to unbox. And I really do enjoy the concept of just like my first impressions of the deck. Like, it's unfiltered. Like, yes, I'm using my where are my embroidery shears? Did I pack those already? This is going to be a problem with the live stream. You're going to be hearing me say that over the next couple of weeks. Did I pack that already? That's going to be the refrain. Because I'm not sure where I put my shears. Anyway, it's not like I need them right now because this is a revisitation of a deck that I've already opened. But the whole concept of doing the unboxing videos for decks, it coincided with the fact that I did have a lot of new decks to me, to unbox fresh. So, but I really haven't been doing unboxing tarot decks for that long. Truly, like when we think about how long I've been doing this live stream for, the unboxing concept has been relatively new to this live stream, like maybe in the last year. And as of August, I've been doing this live stream for 4 years. So maybe a quarter of the time I've been doing unboxings. And other than that, I've been taking your questions and topic suggestions. So anyway, I'm going to assume that no one wants me to revisit the AstroBiz Digest for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But if I'm wrong about that, let me know in the chat. Let's move on to the main point of tonight's episode, which is talking about the Enchanted Love Tarot and opening it up or reopening it up and talking about it. So, I know that there's a guidebook in here. I do remember when I was working with this deck that in the guidebook, it's very geared. So, I mean, it is called the Enchanted Love Tarot. So it is love adjacent. Like you probably should be using this deck for love readings, for relationship readings. I think that is what it's meant for. Love you too, Liz. Love you too. Um, but I remember when I was first working with this deck that I liked that the companion book had, um, you know, very quick interpretations of like yes or no. Like, because sometimes it's just like, oh, does this person like me, or how does this person feel about me, or whatever. And there's like, when you flip to a certain card in the companion book, it'll say right at the top, like, this is a good card, this is a bad card, this is an indifferent card, this is a this card. And it's just like, whatever the question was, like, it's a yes, or it's a hard no, or it's a resounding yes. So I kind of liked that it had that yes or no element to it, but it also had gradation to the yes or no spectrum. Does that make sense to everybody? I'll show you in a second. So again, the copyright for this is 2019, and the publisher is Red Feather, and this is one of those ones that has the magnetic closure and little ribbon. So little ASMR for you guys. Love that. Very happy about that. So this comes with a full book, size of my head, full book, and the cards. So the cards have a little insert in there, and then the book goes on top of that. So it's nicely packaged, I would say. So if you want to keep it in the package, you can totally keep it in the package. That's fine. Or if you want to remove it from the package and put it in silk or a separate bag, you can totally do that too. So, but that's how it is, sans deck and book. So, well, so Fran says everybody loves a magnetic closure. I mean, like in this community, in the Tarot by Hilary live stream community, yes, we stand for a magnetic closure. We stand for good packaging so that we don't have to move it into a separate bag unless we want to, which is nice. So here are the backs of the deck. So not a light pink, but like it's a soft, I would say it's a soft pink myself. I mean, for some people that are not pink people, like this might be a little bit strong of a pink color. Lynn is smiling for like the magnetic closure, good packaging. Welcome, Trina. Welcome to the episode. So yeah, you've got that pink, and you've got like the kind of spiral like pattern. I like the backs of these. I do like the backs of these. Now, in the way of cardstock, this is actually, I was pleasantly surprised by the cardstock, because at first I thought it was going to be very thin, but it's good. It's got a good weight to it. So yes, it does have flexibility to it, but it has a nice, it's neither too thick nor too thin, which is nice. And it has a good, like, the feel of it. It's like not necessarily glossy. I mean, there is a gloss to it, but it's not like super, super glossy. So there is, there's glide to the shuffle, but it's also not too slippery. So when you feel like sometimes the deck is very slippery, and then you end up getting a lot of flyers, a lot of jumpers, and you think that you're a bad shuffler, and sometimes it is a sign. Sometimes jumpers or flyers are a sign that the message really wants to come to you, or if it's an advice card, or sometimes it can mean it's a very slippery deck and you have to be careful with shuffling. And only you can determine really whether or not that advice is like a flyer or a jumper, or just you being not so good at shuffling at that particular moment. Because I think we've all kind of had those moments where it's just like, oh, no, that's a bad shuffle. And that's not us being in denial either about a message that might be coming through from the jumper card. So, and funnily enough, I'm looking down and I'm seeing the Tower card as the deep card. And And the only reason I'm laughing at it and realizing that it's like, this is not a message, this is more of a tongue-in-cheek, um, hey, remember when you were putting off recording the tower episode with the card slingers for like months? Like, hey, hello. Very funny. But if there's an example of one of the majors. So you've got the tower, and then it has a keyword below it. So if you're someone who does not dig the concept of keywords directly onto the deck, then maybe this deck might not be for you. And actually, that's true of all of the cards, both the majors and the minors, because I'm just flipping through and I see the 3 of gems, and then there's a keyword at the bottom that says work. So and Katie's saying, I like that tower. Yeah, it is a very pretty tower. And I mean, this is Amy's artistic style. Like, she is a mixed media artist. She's a collage artist. She's a tapestry artist. And if you're familiar with their work, they also did the Enchanted Tarot as well, which has some of that seemingly like kind of tapestry-esque feel to it. So like, if you look very closely, you can see like the fabric. You can see the individual stitches in the fabric. So that's another thing. Sometimes the cards can be a little too pretty, or prettier than maybe the tower should be or meant to be, right? Yeah. I totally know. I totally hear what you're saying, Katie. The image, yeah. Look at that. So yes, this deck does have keywords on it. So if keyword, and for every single card, so if keywords are not your thing, directly onto the deck or directly onto the cards, then this deck may not be for you. And then there is some color coding as well in the backgrounds. So the major arcana is going to be purple. The minor arcana, 3 of roses, I would assume the 3 of roses would be the 3 of cups. So roses is cups. So that's a light pink background. Let's see what else. King of shells. So shells would be water. So suit of shells would be, wait a minute. Roses, actually, hold on. Roses, I think, are the wands. I'm going to have to look at the book for that. And again, this is the reason why sometimes companion books can be very important, because we need to understand what the reasoning is for the creation or the artistic imagery or the structure of the tarot. Now, it's still a tarot deck if they rephrase it, but as long as they have the major arcana and the 4 minor suits with the quartz. Still a tarot deck. They might just rephrase things or call things something different. So sorry, King of shells. Shells would be water then. So I think roses might be the wands. So let me take a look in the book before we get into the nitty-gritty of like the imagery. That's probably best to start there. So and P.S. Amy and Monty are a husband and wife team. So they dedicated this deck to each other and to their, at the time this came out, I think this was 2019. No, 2006. This edition is 2019. So we dedicate this to each other into the blessing of the 44-year relationship we have shared. So, oh, good. Jenny is here too. Hello. Hi, Hilary and friends. Hello, Jenny. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you again. Yeah, so here, suit, aha. See, this is why companion books can be your friend. So yeah, so it shows the color coordination in this companion book too. This companion book is full color, which is nice. So the major arcana is purple. The suit of roses is pink, and that is fire. So the wands. So roses is wands. That's pink background. The suit of wings is air. So swords. The suit of shells is water, cups. And the suit of gems is earth, coins, pentacles. Yes. Yeah, Fran, you're right. Full house tonight. Yes. So yeah, so there is so the background also gives color connotation, so it kind of brings the deck together while also acknowledging the different suits, which I like. All right. So, introduction for the Enchanted Love. The Enchanted Love Tarot is a unique map and guidebook that can enable soulmates to find each other and lovers to overcome obstacles, even today when the world can sometimes appear to be as dark as a cloudy night. It will provide you with the means for getting in touch with the quiet voice within you that knows, without a doubt, what is best for your greatest good and highest joy. Whether you want to improve your existing relationship or want to meet your soulmate, the Enchanted Love Tarot can light your way. So they consider the tarot an oracle and a form of do-it-yourself analysis, a way of unlocking secrets of the self and providing direction toward manifesting your goals. It is a support system you can rely upon as a friend that can give you helpful advice. It's also great for brainstorming to enhance your creative decision-making abilities. It's our sincere desire that the Enchanted Love Tarot will help you better understand your inner voice and its ability to direct you. If you approach the tarot with a sense of ceremony, sincerity, and humility, then all may be revealed to you. In our opinion, divination is nothing less than getting in touch with the divine within all things. Kind of how I think of tarot and divination as well. And I mean, you think of the root of the word divination, divine. So you can ask your question, repeat your question to yourself as you shuffle your tarot cards. Look up the meaning of the card you selected. And then develop your intuition. What if you don't like the answer you receive? Well, that's very common, isn't it? Sometimes it's the answer that we need, not necessarily the answer that we want, right? A gentle reminder, the answer you get is your answer to your question. And the answer you get is your answer to your question, no one else's. When and if you ever feel like using the Enchanted Love Tarot in the presence of others, you will be amazed at how often the same answer means something different to practically every other person reading it. Sometimes everybody but the person who asked the question will understand the answer that comes up. Be as gentle with that person as you would want him or her to be with you. People are very vulnerable when they ask questions about love. Everyone you trust enough to participate in the Enchanted Love Tarot session should honor this vulnerability with patience and the faith that we all come to understand what we can when we can. To go faster than we are able to comprehend will benefit no one. Ooh, wow. And I found another business card, another one of my business cards that I use all the time for bookmarks. Yes, and an addendum, answers will be repeated until the lesson is learned. Yeah. Because sometimes it's like you go into a different situation and then the same thing happens and you're just like, oh, it's the other person, it's the other person, it's the other person, it's the other person. And it's just like, well, what's the common denominator in the situation? Oh, it's me. Like, what's that Taylor Swift song? Hi, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Sometimes that is the case. And it might be that everybody can see it around us, but we're the last to realize it. So, yeah, the answers will be repeated until the lesson is learned. And I am seeing that I'm at 37% battery life on my laptop. So let me go run and get my laptop charger and be right back. Let's see. So this one I don't really want to divide up into the major arcana, the minor arcana, because I do want to use this deck for our mid-episode reading. So that means if you're going to participate in the mid-episode reading, I would like you to ask a question about love. And I know that sounds crazy coming from me because most of the time I'm not a huge fan of romance readings or love readings. I do so happen to be good at them, but it doesn't necessarily mean I like doing them. But for the purposes of this particular episode and this particular deck that we're revisiting, I think that the real power in revisiting this is in showing people what it's like getting a reading from this deck. So let me be right back and grab that charger. And then I'm also going to like pull a card and then show you an example from that card of what the companion book interpretation looks like, so I can tell you a little bit about what I was speaking about before with the whole yes no and the gradation of the yes or no. I find it to be very interesting, so I will be right back. Hold on, let's see. That I can take rid of. That I can get rid of. Be right back.
There wasn't even 5 minutes left.
There wasn't even 5 minutes left?
No, because the last 2 minutes was the credits and go into on the next episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was like a minute left. I
I gotta get back to my show, but I'm sorry I couldn't wait any longer, okay? You did provide a laugh, though.
Yes.
Huh? Now I'm like schwitzing. Go ahead and hide that. All right, good. This is always where the class gets in trouble when the teacher is out of the room. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what kind of trouble anyone would get into though while I was gone. And I did go ahead and ask Mr. Tarot by Hilary. Hold on, let me fix my settings again. Did that work? Did that not work? All right. Can I hear myself? Can I not hear myself? Hold on. Okay. Better. I did ask Mr. Tarot by Hilary what I missed in the last 5 minutes. He was like, it was not even 5 minutes left. It was like 2 minutes left, and then the end credits, and then the preview for next episode. So it's just like, all right. Well, I'm still in the middle of speaking of episodes, I gotta get back. um Paper airplane flies past. Spell casting. Well, I mean, LOL Fran, but interestingly enough, Fran's not that far off because there is suggestions for love spells in here too. Interestingly enough. So the table of contents is the introduction with like knowing thyself, bringing true love into your life, the origins of tarot, the major arcana and the minor arcana. How does it work? Hold on, let me check this again. That sounded hideous. Okay. These are also noise canceling and provide ambient sound as well. And they really do work because I just took it off thinking that I didn't have it on, and then I just heard creaking outside. So hopefully you guys can't hear that either. In between my blue snowball microphone and my earbuds, you can't hear any of that. Hopefully. Anyway, so origin of the tarot, major arcana and the minor arcana. How does it work? How to do a reading. And where is this? Yeah, after the explanations of the major and the minor arcana and the interpretations, it says spells for true love. So we have a whole list of spells. 1 page worth table of contents of spells for true love. Such as recovering from a broken heart, overcoming loneliness, to dream of love, to end a relationship, to find freedom from worry, to get over anger, for opening your heart to a new love, for relieving stress, for self-empowerment, for attracting love, for opening your heart chakra, to become more positive. And interestingly enough, I just did the newest episode of the Tarot by Hilary podcast just came out, which is both a video episode and an audio episode. So you can listen to it wherever you subscribe to your podcasts, but you can also watch on the tube of you as well. And it is a tarot reading and a tapping sequence. And the tapping sequence is brought about by the tarot reading. And that was what the tapping was about, or what the tarot reading brought up, was becoming more positive, or how to remain optimistic when shit has been hitting the fan, or when you've kind of like lost faith. So that was a very interesting tapping, and I had to listen to it a couple of times in order to do like the audio version, and then put up the video version. And a lot of the time when I do tapping, or even when I do tarot readings, I'm watching it and I have no awareness that it's me. It's as if I'm watching somebody else say very wise things and go through these tapping points, or say something in the tarot reading, and I'm just like, that's not me saying it. Like, I feel like there was a lot of channeling going on in this most recent episode of the podcast. So if you're struggling with that particular thing, or if that particular spell rings true for you about becoming more positive, and I'm not talking about toxic positivity or toxic optimism here, folks, like pretending everything is fine when it's not. That's not what I'm talking about here. If that sounds interesting to you, I would really encourage you to listen to the newest episode of the Tarot by Hilary podcast. Okay. And do the tapping. All right. So yeah, I don't have to go through the card. I don't have to put the cards out of order. Yay. I can actually show you because this is full color. So do we want to do that? Do we want to go through the major arcana? We're not going to go through in depth each and every one of the major arcana, but I'm going to flip through the book and I'm going to show you what each of them looks like. That way I don't have to shuffle up the deck from scratch. I can keep it intact, but you can still see the imagery. Sound good to everybody? Let me know. And we may want to do the mid-episode reading maybe before we go into the major arcana. Does that sound good to people? Because I'm thinking we want to like I feel like we want to like just submerge ourselves in it first. Do the deep dive first by seeing the deck in action, and then going back to the major arcanas. Y'all are way too trusting of me. So Katie said, sounds good for the major arcanas. And Fran said, just along for the ride. You're way too trusting. It reminds me of a bit that the comedian Eliza Schlesinger does. I can't remember from what special it was, but she says that she's kind of the alpha of the group. And sometimes she doesn't even know what she's doing and she's very chaotic. And she was just like, now, if I don't know what I'm doing, what hope do the sheep that follow me have? And that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting right now. Go with the flow. Let's go with the flow. Let's do the mid-episode reading now, especially because we started the episode about 8 minutes late, even though I was here. I was monitoring things with the starting soon bumper on the screen, but we were watching Outlander intently at the same time. Let's do the mid-episode reading now. So for those of you who are asking for a reading before, like now is your opportunity, especially if like astrology is not your bag, baby, and you want a reading. All you would do is comment in the chat after I put the lottery jar up. So let me go ahead and, well, first of all, do you want to remind people, click the bell, click the follow button, click the subscribe button, whatever it is that's saying like, comment, subscribe, all of the stuff so that I can continue to do this thing that I've been doing for the last 4 years in August. Okay. Here's the comment snake. And here's the lottery jar. So if you would like to be considered for a 3-card reading from the Enchanted Love Tarot by Amy and Monty, go ahead and comment in the chat. And you can comment whatever you want to. Something kind would be nice. You can even comment with a keyword like love. And from there, we will select a winner. And I would ask, like normally I have no caveats and you can ask any question that you want to for the 3-card reading. But I would suggest for this particular episode in this particular deck, the Enchanted Love Tarot, ask a love question. Ask a love question, ask a romance question. I'm not going to say that I'm the best at them. I'm just going to say that this is kind of what the deck is meant for. So let's use the deck for what it's meant for. So Katie has just dropped her face into the lottery jar, and that's how the lottery jar works. You just comment and it will automatically enter you into the lottery jar, and then we'll pull from there. Now, for those of you who haven't been watching for that long or aren't a regular viewer, this is all very new to you, or you probably don't remember when we did the Wheel of Names before, or the Picker Wheel before. But for those of you who are OGs, I think I prefer the lottery jar. That way we don't have to go outside of the broadcasting studio, and we can all get it done from here, and it's seen on screen and everyone knows, and it's fair and balanced and democratic. All right, so far it's only Katie in here. So I am going to go ahead and put another widget up on screen, which is the countdown. So I'm going to give it another 3 minutes. So hear me now, 3 minutes, and then we're going to pick a winner. So if nobody else has commented in the next 3 minutes, then Katie's going to be the automatic winner. So contest closes in 3 minutes. I'm saying 3 minutes to be generous. I could have done 5 minutes, but 5 minutes is oftentimes too long. So and I'm going to start shuffling. And then once we pick a winner, then that person is going to put into the chat their question. And I am going to shuffle again, thinking about their question, and pull 3 cards. And then I'm going to give my interpretation. I'm also going to reference the companion book for the Enchanted Love Tarot. And I'm thinking for some of these tarot decks that I feature, especially with the move, some of them like I haven't touched in a while, and I'm wondering if maybe if I put them up onto my website to sell them for like $10 a deck, you know, knowing that they are loved, knowing that they are pre-used. I don't really want to sell them for the full price that I paid for a deck, if I did pay for the deck. So I'd always want to do the caveat of, yes, these are pre-used, like, yes, I have used them before, but maybe that's also a selling point too. Like, hey, these cards were used by a professional tarot reader. Oh, and before I would send it out to people, I would definitely cleanse them with like smoke and put them back in order and all of that kind of stuff. So all right, we are down to the last minute, and Dina has just crept in here like a ninja and said hello, but also entered into the mid-episode reading. Very nice, Dina. I saw that. I respect the game. All right, so 2 people. So that's a 50-50 chance that a third person can then make into, what is it? 33.3% chance. All right, Vincent has just commented. All right, so the timer has run out. And see, that is the power of a timer. That is the power of a timer. It creates urgency and it forces people to shit or get off the pot. Make a decision, like decide now if you want to participate. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pick a winner. In advance, I'm going to say, you know, there can only be one winner each live stream episode. So if you don't happen to win tonight, like, please don't come for me. You can either book a reading with me, tarotbyhilary.com, or you can try again next week. Okay. Okay. All right. Let us pick a winner. It's Katie. It's Katie. It's Katie. So, Katie, go ahead and write your question um, into the chat. Again, gear towards love if you want to. I mean, like, I want to give that caveat, but at the same time, if there's something more pressing than that, go ahead. You can go ahead and ask another question, but just know that this deck might gear it towards relationships or how people are relating to each other and the emotional element of it, possibly. So and I'm going to take down that because we are in the mid episode now. Mid episode reading now. P.S. Katie, whatever it is that you're asking about, the deep card, I haven't even shuffled on your question yet. I haven't even seen it yet. Is the Two of Roses, and the keyword for the Two of Roses is crossroads. So there you go. So that might be a thematic thing that might be coming up here. All right, now to your reading. I'm fine being single, but I have friends that I worry about me being that way. So I'm wondering what should I be doing or whether I should even care. I'm fine with friends. What do the cards think? Cards think that you should probably get different friends or be more expansive to your friend group or whatever. But having that crossroads come up, that Two of Wands energy, and having that keyword come up, like right as your question came through, I was telling you, like, hey, that's the deep card that's come up even before I've shuffled. So it's just like, I think it's not necessarily the question. I think it's the motivation behind the question that might be bothering you. It's just like it doesn't bother you, but the fact that it bothers other people enough for them to say something to you about it, like that's kind of the squeakiness for me. And interestingly enough, we just ended up recording 2 episodes. Like, we were very productive this week. We just ended up recording 2 episodes of the Card Seniors Coast to Coast podcast, where we were talking about, like, one was from the mailbag, and it was a while. Like, I don't know how long ago this message came in or this question came in, but it was about someone disrespecting their deck, and now they feel like they can't use it. But so, like, long story short, and hopefully I'm not like giving away too much of the episode's content for you to like not want to listen to it. I hope you do listen to it when it comes out. But to me, it was not about like the question was about clearing the deck so that the person could use it again. But my answer ended up being more about like, it's not about the physical thing. It's about the disrespect in the relationship. That's what's being harped on, not necessarily the fact that you can't use the deck anymore because it's haunted or it's harmed with the energy. It's more about you're thinking about the disrespect, right? So it's kind of an echoing of that, where it's just like, I'm fine with being single, but I have friends that worry about me being that way. And if they're expressing that to you, it's just like, it's not about that. It's more about the fact that they have the chutzpah to express that to you. Does that make sense? So that's even before I pulled the cards. So let's shuffle. What do the cards think? The cards think that you are absolutely fine. And it's their problem, not your problem. And the reason why I'm saying is this is absolutely wild. And I shuffled this thoroughly, and it's been like literally years since I've touched this deck. But it had the Queen of Gems coming up, and then the King of Gems coming up, and then the Three of Shells. So that's Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and then the Three of Cups, which is typically a card of friendship. I'm not joking about this. I'm not lying about this. I cannot make this shit up. This is the reason why I keep coming back to tarot. And this is the reason why people have been watching this live stream for the last freaking almost 4 years. You can't make this shit up. Okay, so let us go to the guidebook first. But like initial impressions is just like, you're just fine. And this is something for your friends to get over. It's your friend's issue. It's not your issue. The reason why I'm saying that is Queen of Gems. The keyword that comes up for the Queen of Gems is the nurturer. And actually that was the deep card prior to me shuffling. After, like, I did a couple of shuffles, and then I looked down, I saw the Queen of Gems was the deep card, kind of laughed a little bit, shuffled again, and that was the very first card. So Queen of Gems is the nurturer. So I'll show you her first. So Queen of Pentacles. Then you've got King of Gems, which is the realist. King of Pentacles. Okay. And then you've got the Three of Shells, typically a card of friendship. Celebration is a keyword. Can't make it up. Can't make it up if you tried. All right. So let's keep your question on screen as I go to each of these in the companion book. But roughly, it's your friend's problem. It's not your problem. Okay. Queen of Gems, the nurturer. And all of these cards are upright. So it has, I'll show you an example from this. So on one side, it has a full color of the card. And on the other side is the interpretation for both the upright and the reversed. So the upright is a yes. And the reversed is a maybe. Okay. And so that's what I was saying about like how there's a gradation for like the yes, no in like the upright and reverse, but it's also like sometimes it's hell no, you know, like ace of roses. If the ace of roses is coming up upright, it's a yes with an exclamation point. If it's reversed, it's also a yes, but with a period, you know, so there's like gradation. So I really like that. Very nice interpretation, Katie. So your reading is done. No, I'm kidding. Cards say you are good. You are your own queen and king. Celebrate your friendships. I think that's a beautiful interpretation. But let me go ahead and expound upon that. So yes, the smoldering gaze of the Queen of Gems upright reveals she is the most sensual of the tarot's royalty. She has found true love with her husband and loves nurturing her children in their supportive, well-functioning family. So yeah, like having both the king and the queen and the King of Gems here, it's just like, and having that be your interpretation, that's correct. Like you are whole as is, you know, like you don't need, you know, like you are the alpha and the omega. You're creating all of that yourself. You will soon meet or be called upon to emulate the qualities of the Queen of Gems. Now is the time to manifest your true love dreams. Appreciate and protect your good fortune and those that you care about. Share your feelings in a straightforward way. Taking charge while being receptive to others' needs. Charitable events can provide you with social connections that greatly benefit you and introduce you to thoughtful and successful people. Socializing can connect you to people and situations that help foster love. Patronize the arts, go shopping, and enjoy your wealth as best you can, as long as you save for a rainy day. Take or teach a class in cooking, baking, live life to the full, appreciate the gifts of beauty and grace all around you, prepare to experience true soulmate connection. It's time to be enchanted. So it's like, yeah, like it's you, honey. It's like you're your own soulmate. And this is the reason why I don't like to talk about soulmates. I like to talk about kindred spirits. Like if anyone's read Anne of Green Gables, you know, the Anne of Green Gables series, um, she talks about kindred spirits all the time. And you can find that in other people and friendships and platonic friendships and even in yourself. You know, it doesn't have to always be romantic love, you know? So for King of Gems and having it be the realist, like I feel like this is like you're the nurturer, but you're also the realist in this situation too. So yes, the King of Gems upright leans on his staff, symbolizing it has been a long, hard climb to achieve wealth, success, and power. He realizes he didn't do it without help. Great respect and appreciation for those who work for him, and prefers their company to that of the nobles crowding his court, making requests of him. Mature and pragmatic, realist with an earthy sense of humor, and has experienced life from all sides. You will soon meet or be required to display the qualities of a person like the King of Gems. It says you will find a charismatic partner who loves you just as you are. You and or your partner will reach a position of power and or will be respected by those you respect. So again, it's you. Accept meeting and lunch invitations. Make dating, mating, and relating a priority. Interact with everyone no matter what their status. Be yourself, but put others at ease by respecting their origins. Get down to basics in your relationship. Keep it simple. Be natural, realistic, committed. Sensible, pragmatic, serious minded individual. Down to earth, relationship will endure. And like, what's another thing that a lot of people say? It's just like, you have to cultivate the relationship with yourself. Like that's the only one that's going to last a lifetime. Like literally, like you are the relationship that you have to cultivate. So yes, these interpretations, like the interpretations in this book, are geared towards romance, are geared towards, you know, partnership, are geared towards, you know, pretty much monogamy and exclusivity. So it may not have all of the facets of love that we currently have out there, and also may not have aspects of sensuality that are rarely talked about sometimes. But hey, also it's Pride Month, everybody. So let's honor Pride by also understanding there are people that are asexual too. There are people that don't require a romantic relationship to be whole. There are people that aren't attracted to the same things as everybody else, and that's completely okay. Like, happy Pride, everybody. And then finally, the Three of Shells. The Three of Shells is typically a card of friendship. So I think that is what you're saying. Like, that is enough for you. Suit of Shells, also known as water, emotions, cups, or hearts. See, originally I was going to go into this first and then my interpretation, but I think I already gave my interpretation like immediately as soon as the cards came out, and I'm just like, yeah, you're good. So the Three of Shells is celebration, and upright. Again, all of these are upright that came up. Yes, yes, and have fun. It's party time. Don't be alone, no matter how important your work seems. Enjoying yourself is as important as working hard. Opportunities abound for wonderfully romantic days and nights, so take advantage of them. Put your worries aside and feel gratitude for life's gifts. If you're looking for love or are in a relationship, go on a trip or attend a celebration. Just make sure that happy people surround you with good wishes. Speak your heart about whom and what is important to you. Do what makes you happy. This is a time to give thanks and enjoy the best life has to offer. So again, it's like Three of Shells, three of cups, like that is friendship. So it's just like you're asking what the cards have to say. I'm fine. I'm fine with friends. What did the cards think? The cards agreed with you, I think. So, Katie, let me know if this reading makes sense to you, or is it? I mean, I think it's just confirming exactly what your instincts are saying to you at this time. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So, let me go ahead and take away the glossary jar. Yep, exactly. Socializing comes up, and I'm good for doing that. So, yeah, continue to do that. Continue to do the things that bring you joy and celebration and makes you feel whole and complete, because you're whole and complete already. All right, that's it. That's the end of the episode now. So now I feel, now that we've done the mid-episode reading, I feel that I can take out the major arcanas now. Even though the major arcanas didn't come up in that reading, just notice that. That's interesting. But having it be color coordinated to the different suits is very helpful if you happen to be looking to, work with the major arcana separately. And then I was just asking myself if I shuffled reversals into these, and I did. I'm seeing them. So like the moon was reversed and the sun. So once again, thank you to Katie for being the winner and being open to being read live on the air. Sometimes it's a very personal thing being read, and I appreciate it when anyone volunteers to do so. And for those of you who asked and didn't get selected this time, never fear. We do this every week, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So try again next week. Did you guys see the card of the day that I posted today? It was actually quite funny, very tongue-in-cheek, very literal. It was actually the Queen of Pentacles from the Pulp Tarot. And I just found it incredibly funny because that's what I was doing yesterday. I was going through all of the change that we've accumulated in this apartment over the last 8 years. And I have and I was sorting through them to, basically take the quarters and put them separately. And now we have an entire mason jar that's full of quarters. And that's not even the only one. So I'm not going to do the major arcana in order, but I have separated out the major arcana. So let me go ahead and show you some of those. The Devil, Seduction, the World, Consummation, the Wheel of Fortune, Luck, the Empress, Creativity, the Lovers, Attraction, the Emperor, Power, Temperance, Patience, Strength, Understanding, the Hanged Man, Attitude, Judgment, Perspective. Now, it's funny that that's coming up right after the Hanged Man, because I was going to think that the Hanged Man would have been Perspective. But it's not. It's Judgment is Perspective. The Tower, Crisis, the Star, Hope, The Hierophant, tradition. The Chariot, determination. Death, transformation. The Magician, energy. The Moon, fear. The Sun, support. The High Priestess, intuition. Justice, truth. The Hermit, introspection. And finally, the Fool, trust. So that is the major arcana. Now, some of the minor arcana. So unfortunately, this is one of those decks that has non-illustrated pips. So unfortunately, you're going to probably need the companion book and lean on the companion book pretty heavily if you're not already familiar with a system that reads non-illustrated pips, or if you haven't already internalized the structure of a Rider-Waite-Smith illustrated pips deck. So like, for example, and Jenny's saying there's such pretty cards. They're beautiful, beautiful cards. So like, for example, going through these, we've got like the 7 of Shells, the 3 of Wings, sorrow. So you might be relying on 7 of Shells is illusion, by the way. So you might be relying very heavily on the keyword association that comes with this, and not necessarily the imagery or your background knowledge, possibly, if you don't already have that foundation of a Rider-Waite-Smith based deck, or if you're not already familiar with a system that has like a formula for non-illustrated pips. And once again, there's another spammer in the chat. So, and that one's probably someone offering spell casting. Which, by the way, there are legitimate people that are root workers that will do spell casting on your behalf. Now, I'm not one of those people, but there is, an accredited association of root workers that I can recommend to you if you would like to be put in contact with someone like that. Just to let you know. So, but as to the people that are coming in here and spamming, like, obviously I don't recommend them because I don't know them and I would never do that. But yeah, so Jenny is saying about the non-illustrated pips, that's disappointing. Yes, it is disappointing. So like 3 of Wings, sorrow, you would have to know that the 3 of Wings is the 3 of air, which is the 3 of swords. So you're not getting the heart with the 3 swords piercing it in this image. You're just getting 3 butterflies and the keyword sorrow. So that could probably belie some interpretations, because it's like, oh, it's pretty. And it's just like, yeah, but that's the 3 of swords. Like, this is the card of sorrow, Also, like 4 of Wings, privacy. Like that would be 4 of swords. And I don't necessarily know if I would associate the 4 of swords with the concept of privacy. Let's see what else. I mean, you are going to have your court cards though. So you've got Queen of Wings, Queen of Swords, the analyst. I like that. It's like the analyst. Yeah. 9 of Gems. So that would be 9 of Pentacles, independence. 8 of Roses, signals. So 8 of Roses, that would be the 8 of Wands. And they have the keyword association of signals. So instead of it being 8 wands on a background, like flying through the air, It's 8 roses. So that is one of the drawbacks to this deck. So Prince of Wings, the Challenger. So Prince of Swords. Let's see what else. So, like, for example, let's do a card pull from here to give an example of one of these cards. That's the Minor Arcana. Just randomly, what do I need to know right now? What do I need to know right now about my relationship with spammers? I know it's a romance deck, but whatever. Let's see. So I am getting the Princess of Roses reversed, the Adventurer. So let's go to the guidebook. So the Princess of Roses would be the Page of Wands reversed. Okay? So, very pretty, though. Okay? But reversed. So, reversed is a maybe for this card. The Princess of Roses impetuously picked up a wand in either hand, though she was not yet skilled enough to wield them even one at a time. Her good intentions and enthusiasm didn't make up for her lack of experience. That's interesting. Think about what I just asked, right? Be careful if you encounter someone who looks, acts, or dresses wild, flamboyant, or too young. Make sure that person is not you. That and impulsive, immature acts will drive away potential partners. That's funny. Don't get ahead of yourself. Trying to move a relationship too quickly will scare someone with less fire in his or her personality. Avoid tactlessness, anger, and childish theatrics if you don't get your way. Be careful of how you create and use pet names for your partner and keep them private. You or your partner may skip from one relationship to the next, seeking the perfect one. Problems can arise if boredom sets in or if one or both of you give up at the first sign of trouble. It can't always be a party. True love has a serious side too. Don't run away from doing the work of having a relationship. Ask a mature friend for words of wisdom about your current situation to ensure that you are not being naive. Social skills must be developed. If you and or your partner change your ways, you'll be rewarded with a great relationship. Don't change and you'll waste time doing too much of the wrong things, making promises you can't keep, and socializing with the wrong crowd. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So don't count out this deck. I mean, yes, the drawback is a pretty big drawback for the fact that, there is non-illustrated pips, but like, man, that companion book can pack a wallop. So like Princess of Gems, King of Gems we already saw. 10 of Wings, difficulty. So that's the 10 of Swords. Like, yeah, I would say 10 swords in your back is a difficulty. Ace of Roses, passion. Princess of Shells, the romantic. So that would be Page of Cups. Definitely true. King of Roses, so that'd be King of Wands, the motivator. Yeah. Yeah. I'll say. Good card readings from the deck. I'll say. All right. So, does anyone have any questions about this deck? Does anyone have any card they wanted to particularly see before I go ahead and put this deck away and we move on to the weekend forecast? And also, how do you get this deck? Just in case Hilary decides to not sell it, how do you get this deck? Where would you find this deck? And the answer to that is in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link right now to Amy and Monty's official website, straight to the Enchanted Love deck. So you can check that out. That is their official site, theenchantedworld.net. And I'll go ahead and display that on screen so you can see that. And then the extended URL takes you directly to this deck that we were just revisiting tonight. So I'm going to give it a minute, and then we'll move on to the weekend forecast. So I'm not going to put away the deck yet until I say that I'm putting it away. And I would like, I think I want to go with Work Your Light tonight for the weekend forecast. What does everybody else think? Oh, I don't know if you I don't think it was here, but it might have been in one of my other groups, but I'll mention it here anyway. So there was someone that wanted to put themselves out there a little bit more, and they ended up, I think, going viral, if I'm remembering correctly, but then they were upset about the amount of trolls, the amount of trolling that they experienced. And they were asking around for some of us that graduated from GDM, which is the tapping certification that I got last year, that I still have, and you can still book a tapping session with me, tarotbyhilary.com. And they were asking if anyone had or knew of or created a tapping on trolls. And it turns out that one of the GDM graduates that wasn't in my class, but was in, I think, the second class, if I'm remembering correctly. Danny created one about trolls. So he did a tapping on, trolls, on like dealing with trolls if you're like a public figure. And now it's coming to mind. And he was just like, oh, and I shared it with other people, but he was just like, did you do it though? Did you do the tapping? And I'm just like, I didn't do the tapping yet. But I know that someone had been asking about it. And so I wanted to make sure that I put it out there as quickly as possible, that so somebody could do the tapping and benefit from it. But like, I really love what Danny's doing with tapping. So I think I'm going to have to do that as well. After that reading from the Enchanted Love Tarot about like immaturity and all of that kind of stuff, very, very interesting. All right. And Jenny is saying hello to Jenny. So yeah, we're going to go for the weekend forecast. And where did I just put right here next to me. So let me go ahead and put that up here. Weekend forecast. And I am going to also put up, let's see. Let's go with the stars again, because I know some of you really love the stars. So And Jenny's asking, are you doing readings tonight? We just did a couple, and we are just doing the weekend forecast now. So this is a reading for the collective. So if it resonates for you, Jenny, then great. So, okay, so let's pull a card from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell with artwork by Danielle Noel, and see what the weekend has in store for us. And then I'm going to watch the last 2 minutes of that episode of Outlander. And then I'm going to eat dinner. What do we need to know for this weekend? What are we going to need to know for this weekend? All right. Not this. This. This doesn't feel resonant either. Why doesn't none of these feel resonant? I'm just going to go ahead and do not from the top, not from the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and spread this out and pull from the fan. There it is, right there in the middle. Ouch. Okay. So this weekend is probably going to be a little bit rough for some people. Or, if you're watching the replay at a different time and this message is resonant for you, then please take it. Please don't worry about the fact that this was recorded on Friday, June 16th, 2023. If it happens to be Monday, April 3rd of 2025. If this message is resonating for you, please take it, hold it in your heart. Please let it help and guide you. Okay? Okay. So the message we're getting is break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. Which typically, if you are a person that is a black sheep in your family, is the one that's always calling things out, or, saying that's not right, or this is that's not fair, that's not right. Very committed to justice, very committed to examining the past in order to not repeat it. This card is probably meant for you. So break the chain. So it's an action card. Break the chain, 78. So from the guidebook, here we go. You are being called to heal your family line or free yourself from living the life of your ancestors. This could mean letting go of an old pattern of your maternal or paternal line, healing trauma from the past that is not even yours, or observing old ways of being that no longer serve you. We carry emotional trauma in our luminous field for up to 7 generations back. This is why family patterns can be the hardest to break. Often, they are not even ours to begin with. But we do not know another way of being, and so we continue playing out the drama. The thing to notice when ancestral healing comes up is that you cannot heal another person, but your own healing can cause another person to choose to heal. Energy is freed up. You are being guided now to look at your life and decide how you want it to be. What ways of being or patterns are you ready to free yourself from? What part of your future do you want to rewrite? Now is the time to shake them off and dream a new future into being. So the action step is, what old ways of being from your family line are you ready to let go of? Seek assistance from your support team, tribe, friends, healer, coach, etc., to begin freeing yourself from it now. Now, the reason why I gave a little bit of that interpretation before I actually read the interpretation is because, one, I've gotten this card before. I've gotten this card before in client readings, like giving client readings. I've received this card in reading for myself. And also, quite frankly, I was thinking about, um, the holiday that is the holiday that is coming up on Sunday, which is Father's Day in the United States. And unfortunately, like a best friend of mine just lost her father. I lost my father 5 years. Is it 5 years ago? Might be 6 years ago now. I can't keep track at this point. And that was very unexpected. And so, not to be glib or anything, but for those of us who are members of the Dead Dad Club, like this weekend is not a great weekend for us. While for other people it's a celebration and honoring the dads in your life, but it's complicated, you know, and so receiving this card or pulling this card. I'm not surprised at all. And I feel like it is kind of calling me out in a little bit of a way. And I know you all love that. Um, so that forces me to take a look at some things, and maybe you're feeling the same. Maybe it has nothing to do with Father's Day for you. Maybe you're watching at a time where you're about to step into a weekend or a celebration of a person that you don't get along with, or that you have disagreements with, or that doesn't honor the person that you're trying to become, or doesn't honor your partner, or a million and one other things. And to that, I say, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, have compassion for yourself, and know that it may not be easy, but it's worth doing. So, yeah. Katie says there's always some habits from our family that we could let go of and would be better without. And it's hard because like they're like I've I've taught here on the live stream about boundaries at least 3 times, and asserting boundaries with your family can be the hardest thing of all to do because they're the ones that installed the buttons that they're pushing to begin with. It's just like, why do they push our buttons? Because they're the ones that installed the buttons. And whenever I've taught boundaries to other people in like that format of a workshop, they've said, well, family, I wish my family had taught me boundaries, but instead they're the ones that are always the boundary pushers or the boundary breakers. And I'm just like, you're not alone in that. And it would be really lovely if families would start to do that, would start to honor and teach about boundaries. And there are so many different forms of boundaries that are out there. Boundaries with time management, boundaries with your physicality, with your body, with your physical property. Even again, like I talk about this a little in the podcast episode that we recorded from the mailbag, about boundaries on your property, and how your property is an extension of you. So it's just like, if someone does something to your property, then that's basically them doing that to you, because your property is an extension of you. So yeah, you might want to tune into that episode when it comes out, whenever it comes out. I'll let you know. Um, so yeah, family stuff. Break the chain. And actually I think I'm going to send this to my sister. I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, I think I gave a copy of this deck to my sister. So I feel like we need to do something this weekend, even though I think I'm working this weekend, but I feel like we need to do something, to both honor and also acknowledge. So yeah, that's the episode. I'm gonna think on that. I'm gonna eat something. I know Jenny was suggesting sushi. I wish. I don't think I can get away with that because we we did that last weekend. I think we've been celebrating our new apartment, or the fact that we got the new apartment, a little too hard lately, and now it's just like I'm not ready to pay the piper in regards to all of our celebration. So it's a thought. I'll see if I can wheedle that out of Mr. Tarot by Hilary. She's like, well, someone suggested sushi, so yeah. So Katie says, thank you, Hilary. Have a good weekend, everybody. You as well. Let's see. Let me take that away. And just a reminder to everyone that we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about different metaphysical topics. Sometimes I'll do a tarot deck deep dive or an unboxing or revisitation of a deck like we did tonight, or talk about charm casting or scrying or Ouija boards or whatever. So if you have suggestions for a topic that you would like to see covered in the next episode of the live stream or in my podcast, please let me know. You can always message me and I will consider it. Jenny says, thanks, Hilary, and you, Katie, for being brave. I agree. Thank you, Katie, for being brave. Yep. All right. Let me go ahead and take down the comment snake, which is very adorable. So Fridays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all so much for watching and tuning in. And once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, don't argue with me. You too have intuition. Have a wonderful night. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves this weekend, and I will see you again next Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.